Mommy! Please let me in. Are you my mommy?
The Doctor and Rose chase a metal cylinder while in the TARDIS through the time vortex until it crash lands on Earth. While trying to find the location of where it crashed, they discover the year is 1941 and the Second World War is in full effect. However, the Nazis are not the main threat here. A small boy wearing a gas mask is asking for his mummy, and nothing will stop until he finds her. Can the Doctor solve the mystery behind the plague of the gas mask zombies? Or will the human race all become these zombies? Let's discuss The Empty Child / The Doctor Dances, which aired from the 21st to the 28th of May 2005 and was written by Stephen Moffat and directed by James Hawes. Hello and welcome. Sorry, there's a slight delay on my thing before it starts recording. But hello and welcome to this Eyes of Harmony podcast review of The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Cool. Nostalgia flows. Nostalgia's flowing everywhere.
It's all over the walls.
It's just.
We need to clean it up.
It just spewed out my mouth. Just everywhere.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. It was like Exorcist kind of nostalgia at the screen. It was like.
So you peeped nostalgia.
Yes, I did. That's how nostalgic it was. This is the classic. This is like classic Doctor Who to me in some ways. This is like this is the classic to us.
Yeah, it's true. It's what we grew up with. I've seen both these because like when I was younger, I had I didn't have a lot of DVDs to begin with. I mean, I had a couple of classic, but especially in terms of modern Who, I didn't get a lot. But I got the last 2 volumes of the Series 1 series. So this episode I've watched very firmly to death, like on car trips, at home, you know, it's whenever I felt like it as a kid. So you know, it's kind of it's nostalgic, but I've seen it so many times that it's just so vivid in my head.
That's what I have for Parting of the Ways, because it was the only Christopher Eccleston story I had recorded on VHS.
I had that a little bit as well, but that's because that was part of the DVD thing as well for the episode.
Yeah, see, I had that. It was the only one I had recorded on VHS. And I mean, I wish we'd recorded the rest of the series, because then I didn't get to rewatch Series 1 until the end of 2010. So like 5 years had passed, so it was absolutely crazy. That was the nice thing, like it was kind of nice, like having that time to wait and then suddenly being able to watch these amazing ones again. It's like what people must have felt like when, you know, they started coming out on VHS, the old ones. Yeah. You know, that must have felt special.
And I had a kind of similar experience with the beginning half of Series 1. Because I only had the second half. The first few episodes of Series 1, well, the first half of it, I didn't really watch till like a year or two ago for the first time.
I don't know how you waited that long, because
I had no drive to go back and watch like ones I'd already watched. Like whenever I'm buying DVDs and stuff, I'm more like, what ones haven't I seen?
Yeah,
which
no,
I'm interested in seeing. I'm not going to go out of my way to. I didn't at the time want to go out of my way to spend my limited amount of money on episodes I'd already seen and could remember to a certain extent.
Fair. I mean, I know I got. On the Christmas of 2010, I got Series 1 to 4 and the specials on DVD, and that was like one of my best presents ever. Like the amount of Doctor Who I had to watch, it was just awesome, so awesome. Oh god, yeah, I was so happy when I saw Series 1 again. You know, it was amazing, so amazing to watch all of them again.
Yeah.
God, the nostalgia.
Anyway, the episode!
Yeah. Well, I think that's a nice story for people to hear.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't, stop the video now.
Dislike.
Yeah, dislike and then
go away. Report us. Copyright strike our videos.
Oh no, not again. The amount we had to deal with that crap. That's enough of story. Right, the video starts now. So, TARDIS is an exciting beginning. The Doctor chasing that little capsule through time and space.
Immediately kind of intriguing, straight into the action, you know.
I mean, it's interesting you don't even see the gas mask, zombie kid, before the title sequence. That doesn't come till later, which is kind of intriguing, because, every story since this, every story before that showed the bad guy before.
Did they?
Except, I think, Father's Day. That's one which also didn't.
The End of the World? I don't think...
End of the World had...
Oh, Spider Robots, was it? Oh, no.
No, it just showed the End of the World. But that was a big thing. That was a big thing included in it.
Yeah, but that wasn't the villain.
Well, shut up. Whatever. They should do it more often. I think it was quite good that they did it differently this time. I mean, Rose didn't have a pre-title sequence. It just had the theme, and you got straight in there. Yeah, boy. But yeah, so, I mean, damn, Chris is on form.
Oh, yeah.
As always. I just wish we got more of him.
Definitely. Yeah, I think... I still get debating this within myself, but I still think... In terms of the way he was going with the Doctor and his general performance, he's kind of like... my preferred actor, if that makes sense, kind of... Out
of all of the...
Yeah,
synths.
I think he was just... It's weird to say this, but he's kind of the strongest, but, I can't really rank him as high as others, just because...
The amount of time he spent.
Yeah.
If he'd done one more season, and it wasn't Series 2, because I think Series 2 could have been a bit stronger.
Well,
Satan's Pit, he would have been awesome in that, with the ood, imagine that. Oh, crap, that would have been awesome. Oh, Chris, why did you do this?
Well, because you didn't get on with
You broke
people.
our hearts. Oh, Chris. That would be... Oh, there's a parallel universe out there where it's still the Doctor and everybody loves it.
Still the Doctor.
Yeah, it's still the Doctor.
I don't think... was a part of the issue that I didn't want
be typecast. Well, maybe in another universe he does want to be typecast. And he's like Tom Baker, he's just happy.
Wow.
When you make enough money, who cares? I mean, off Doctor Who, he'd make enough for the rest of his life. I mean, at least if he'd stayed like 3 seasons and then we got David, like that would have been pretty cool.
No, it wouldn't have been David if he'd
I
stayed
know.
on. No, because it's the butterfly effect. When you change one thing, everything else changes.
Yeah.
So I think if he had stayed, it'd be very unlikely that David would have got the role.
But would you sacrifice a David for a Chris?
Tricky one.
That's a really
tricky
tough
one.
Question. Oh, a David for a Chris. I don't know.
Well, in that universe, we wouldn't even know. So.
I know, but if we did know, like those like time travel things where you can go and change it. Like if you could go back in time and convince Chris to stay on. And then you just go back afterwards and just change it back to how it was if you didn't like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, the episode.
Yeah, so then and then they land, and it's kind of dark and quiet, and I quite like that.
The lighting, actually, as a whole in this episode,
good.
is really excellent.
Oh, the entire
use
production
shadows
standards is amazing.
You get it right from the opening, like the quiet, like dark streets with everything hanging overhead, and then
the dialogue's pretty fun as well.
It is.
All their dialogue's good.
I mean, Moffat, pre him taking over the show, always had good dialogue in all of it. All of it, like it's just such good, right?
And you can make things really creepy as well. But anyway, so Rose sees the kid, and then the Doctor goes inside, so it splits them up really well and kind of naturally as well. It doesn't feel forced like in other things. It felt kind of
Rose
right.
just kind of gets a little bit distracted.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm going to talk about the scene where because it kind of happens simultaneously, but I want to talk about when the Doctor's asking about it first. One, I really like it because it's just a really nice scene. It kind of sets the moment. You're like, okay, we're in the past, but you're not sure exactly when. And the best thing about this scene is the first time you watch it, it's creepy because the Doctor asks, "Has anything fallen from the sky recently?" And everybody just laughs at him like he's a madman, and that's really kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But when on rewatches, when you know it's World War II, you're laughing at the Doctor because you realise how funny that does sound.
Yeah.
It's really funny on like, depending on if it's your first or repeat watchings on what your reaction to that scene is, because when it's creepy it really adds to the episode.
Yeah.
With a bit of humour it also adds to the episode. It's
Yeah.
it's really cool
Different
moment.
ways.
It's a really interesting moment which like I think I really appreciate when you kind of think about it, like that is a really well written scene that on rewatches it doesn't change. They didn't do, because that's the problem with like the reveal of River Song. Now when we go back and watch it we know it's what she is, so it's like they made it too big a
You can't
thing.
watch that episode fresh again.
Yeah, but this one you can watch fresh and take it from a new angle, like, you know. So I really like that. And then there's Rose outside, however,
which you get a little bit less of for a little bit, and then like you know.
And then she's. One bad point is, why does she climb something that she doesn't even know what the rope's attached to?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
little bit.
come on, really?
Didn't
like,
even bother
shouldn't just
to look
look up. Because like a moment later, as she starts to be like pulled away, thing is, you realise that was actually a really good thing that happened. But I think it would have been way more dramatic if Rose had got turned into a gas mask.
Yeah,
Imagine if that had
in
happened.
some ways. Well, it's kind of the effect that they later doing stuff like Idiot's Lantern and such.
Yeah, I know, but I think it would have been better here.
Maybe. I mean,
it would have added the threat, but then you knew.
Maybe,
Actually,
but
no, because to
I
be
quite-
fair, then you know Rose would have got out of it.
and that would kind of have spoiled part 2, but
Well, no, I think she got turned in part 2 because it was airborne. She should have What would have been cool is if she got the scar. At least got that.
well,
far.
I mean, the whole point of part of the point of the Doctor Dances was the dancing aspect.
Yeah, no,
of
but I
it.
wish at the end where it had become airborne, it was like, oh, any of us could be, affected now. And Rose looked down at her hand, and then there could be that could have been, maybe that was in an earlier draft. I don't know, but that sounds like a good thing they could have done if they wanted to. Not saying they had to. I'm not saying it ruined anything by them not doing it.
Yeah.
I thought it was top keck, really.
But yeah, no, seeing the child on the roof, it's kind of like you don't get especially like when you're not
it's so
looking for
freaky.
it, you don't really get to see properly what it is. So it just
Yeah.
kind of flashes on screen. And eventually you see kind of the child from above, and it's like, I mean, the genius of that is that the gas masks in themselves are actually, even from the beginning, a kind of creepy thing.
Yeah, they
So
are
they're kind
creepy.
of
The look
dark and the
Yeah.
eyes and such. So, you know, having that on anybody is already slightly creepy. In fact, you know, there's actually a lot of like, I remember like several paintings, creepy paintings and such, possibly even from around wartime as
There's
well.
just creepy pictures
Just
in
use
general.
that, yeah. But having it on a child and such, you know, in some ways it's a bit less threatening, but at the same time,
It's that
it's
innocence
kinda,
to it, though.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy in a way. It's like the unsuspecting terror, you know. In some ways, it kind of makes it almost more creepy. I know a lot of people were really terrified of the child.
Oh, well, my sister got massively scared of a child because, obviously, to start with, Nancy says it's her brother. And I was 7, so I was a bit older than Jamie was.
Yeah.
He was 5, but, like, that's still kind of the same. I mean, my sister wasn't as old as Nancy, but still. It terrified my sister. This one didn't actually scare me too much. It creeped me, but it didn't scare me.
It didn't. I remember hearing that my cousin was really terrified of the episode. So, with the help of my mum, I basically called him out up and then just kind of said it down the phone. It being my best impression. Kind of freaked.
You're lovely.
Oh yes.
No, the first time I got the proper time I first got scared Doctor Who was the Ood in Satan's. No, Werewolf, because that one was really violent actually in Doctor Who standards. That was the first one which got me, and then the Ood were the other ones when they were crawling. Oh god, even now it's like it kind of creeps me out, just that red eye look, and just they crawl really manically, the Ood. So I kind of rate the Ood scarier than the gas masks.
I don't know. I wasn't actually that afraid of either. Like I'm trying to think back. Not a lot of the Doctor Who monsters scared me as such.
you're just weird.
I think the only one that kind of got a legitimate fearful reaction out of me was and this is like older, but like Tomb of the Cybermen.
Fair.
Like the Cybermen in that are creepy as heck. Like Yeah, it kind of does what this does in some ways, actually, with the kind of the
I think it's
eyes,
big
the eyes,
large black eyes,
the large black eyes with like. Well, actually, it's actually creepy when it's smaller. Actually, to be honest, but the black just kind of darkened out eyes and no pupils and such, while still kind of retaining human features, is kind of in itself kind of creepy.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we meet Captain Jack because Rose is hanging above London.
That's a bit ahead,
She's hanging above London.
London. I have to say about the London scene is that you know you can tell actually when you're watching it on a TV back in 2005. Actually,
it looked really good.
It looked good, and the CG was kind of neat and all of that. Watching it on a Blu-ray in 2017, and bearing in mind, we both watched the Blu-ray edition. Like, no, it wasn't just the DVD and the Blu-ray; it was the Blu-ray version. The environment as a whole is really fuzzy, and you can quite obviously tell that Rose is very lighted differently to everything around her. So it's like, from a technical perspective, in this day and age, it doesn't hold up as well as even other things in the series itself. Heck, even like Jack's ship and such you see later. The CG on that holds up pretty decently well. Yeah. But that whole shot over London is, like, for today's standards, ooh.
To be honest, it's better than The Walking Dead deer. I know you don't watch The Walking Dead, but Google The Walking Dead deer. That was in the last series, and it was so bad. I mean, so bad.
I mean, it's not about
like worse than that 2005.
Well, I would I would do pretty bad. But I would say no, it's not the quality of the CG itself, but it's how it's scaled up to modern. Like, a lot of it, you're able to kind of a lot of the actors themselves you're able to upscale kind of cleanly and such due to modern techniques. But the background was rendered in such a way and designed for 2005 TV that when, like, kind of blown up to modern standards, it's just kind of
but I mean, you got to respect
blurry.
the time, but it was.
Yeah,
I mean, this was
agree,
filmed in 2004.
I agree.
As well, so.
Yes, I'm just saying that some of the flaws of the of a couple of the technical aspects are kind of demonstrated worse by the modern TVs. It's not that.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
It doesn't ruin anything. Yeah. Like, even the scene is still actually cool, just kind of hanging over London and such. But you know, I just thought I'd point it out because it was kind of a bit of a glaring thing to me when watching the episode.
Yeah. Anyway, so we meet Jack then. I love Captain Jack. John Barrowman was one of the best things of the earlier series.
Well, yeah.
I love him when he comes back, and he's great in Torchwood. Captain Jack is just great. Then there's one angle, actually, in his very first scene. There's like a low angle, and he looks loads like James Franco. It might just be me, but there's one low shot, and he does this smile. I was like, James Franco? Generally, for a moment, it looked like James Franco. I might sound crazy, but just put up like a two picture thing showing the difference. I know. We'll see how crazy I am when they're next to each other. But like, it was like just a slight moment. It's just like when he's talking to his mate, and then like he like does there's a low angle and a smile. It just weirdly looked like that.
Ironically, in some ways, Jack's more important to the story than pretty much everyone else, to be honest.
Well, he's the one who caused it all to happen.
Exactly.
So it's very interesting. But the thing is, it's like there's enough of a nitpick here. So he gets her in the beam, and he fixes up her hands with the nano gens, and that's a cool scene. They flirt a bit, then they go out on top, and then he reveals his ship, which is cool and all, but is no one going to see that?
They're in the Blitz. Everyone's inside.
He turns on Big Ben during the Blitz. That's a bit retarded.
But everybody's still inside.
The Nazis are not inside. They'd be dropping bombs on that shit.
Well,
especially if you turn on Big Ben and make the bells go.
The Nazis, right? Yeah.
They were during a blitz because the air raid signal doesn't go off till later.
But most people wouldn't see that.
Most. Some still would. It's pretty inconsiderate, Jack. They could have bombed Big Ben. I know they dodged monuments, but like it would have helped them like go, oh well, there's Big Ben. So if we're on a map, well here. Let's bomb that. It was irresponsible and not very nice. And Rose should have told him off instead of just
But
boogieing with him.
Yeah.
I love the Spock thing throughout the episode. And he's like, "Oh, just scan for alien tech." And she's like, "Finally, a professional."
Yeah, that's kind of what that meant there. But yeah, it's kind of neat because you kind of know everything. A lot of things you need to know about Jack already from his first scene.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. It's just like
no, I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, no, I just wanted to add another point that.
Well, his first thing he does is actually zooms on Rose's butt, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's precisely. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a flirt, a bit of a
Yeah. Then the Doctor comes out, and then he returns to the TARDIS, and it's a great scene where it's like, "Oh, don't wander off, one day they won't." And then the phone starts ringing. It's like, "Oh, there's in 900 years, nothing will surprise me anymore."
Yeah,
and the phone rings. That was a really cool scene. Though obviously he fixed the phone eventually because, yeah, in Matt Smith's era they have the telephone now in the TARDIS. What do you think of them having a phone now that works? Like, is that?
I mean, I don't think the Doctor ever really needed it. I think it was kind of part of the thing. So,
Yeah.
like, I think it kind of.
I like to have
I
the
don't like it
mobile.
as much, just because it. Like, the mobile makes sense because that was like specifically left for
Arthur
him.
Jones, yeah.
But the having an outright telephone to the outside world, like, I kind of think. Because the Doctor's supposed to be this mysterious traveller that comes and goes and nobody's able to reach him, and like it's always
don't call
surprised
me
me
up. Yeah.
when he turns up. And so the fact that he's now more easily contactable, I think, is a bit.
Takes away the
A
magic.
little bit, not too much, but
But yeah, that's
it was kind of a cool scene. And Nancy in this scene is kind of creepy as well. Well, she just kind of appears and disappears.
She
Yeah.
Batman's it.
Yeah, so you're like, what's going on with her? How does
And yeah, it's really good. And then the Doctor basically.
But how does she know to be there, though?
Well, no, she's heading towards the
Yeah,
house,
that's
which
true.
we see in the next
Well, no.
scene.
She goes the other way.
Yeah, she walks off, but oh no, yeah, because she comes through the back. Because then they go into the night shelter and then they go inside, and then she sees all the food. And it's all yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yep.
And then she calls a kid with the little whistle, and they all come running. And then there's a great moment where the Doctor's like, they're like, "Thanks, miss.
Yes.
Thanks, miss. Thanks, miss." And they're all like, "Oh!" And yeah, that's a really lovely scene. It's like stuff like that made 9 so enjoyable. Like, you couldn't imagine David doing that. It's just that's a 9 thing.
Not in the same way.
Not in the same way. No, not with that charisma.
No. It's true. I have to say,
It's even a surprise to the audience because you don't see it coming.
no.
You just hear his voice. You're like, "Oh, okay, Doctor slipped in here."
Suddenly.
And yeah, and then
I'd have to say they very much invoke the mood of the era quite really nicely. Yeah, like with all the posters.
You feel like it's 1941.
All the posters, all the blips with the shelters and everything. Yeah, it just kind of.
It's
And all the sound effects and everything, like of course, like stuff like the siren, of course, is taken directly.
Oh, yeah.
But like, even like you hear all the
planes,
gunfire and such, and it's like it all kind of comes together to very much invoke a feeling of the time. Yeah, really nicely.
They really got the era right, the eeriness to it as well.
Yes.
But yeah, and I love it how like that scene where like it knocks at the window and she's like, "Oh, who shut the door?" Just really good moments of dialogue which always make everything creepy, like, "Oh, someone left the door open,"
And it's
it's
quite
handed
tense.
through the letterbox.
And it's helped by the music here, especially.
Oh,
like,
Murray
like-
Gold's soundtrack is
Like,
excellent.
yeah, especially like in these earlier seasons, especially, I'd say very much.
Yeah,
so.
and it just the recent seasons I haven't really heard much, except the 12th Doctor theme I do like.
Yeah, it is a good.
Like dun, 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 dun,
But
dun, dun.
like the whole kind of. It almost is a Psycho thing here with the whole screech.
Yeah.
Every time he's on screen.
And yeah, and then like it's the hand through the letterbox. It's like it's not very, the Doctor's like, "It's not very nice being left out in the cold. Like I should know."
Mm.
And like it's like that is the stuff I loved when I started watching Doctor Who. Those
Just-
little tiny hints.
Hints to his childhood, not
Hints.
outright showing it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
never supposed to show the Doctor's childhood, or even like tell us a lot. It's
Yeah,
only
they-
hints.
He's not. He's stopped becoming as mysterious as he really should be.
Like they got it right in
he's-
Sylvester McCoy.
He's
era
become an
back in
open
Moffat
door
era.
again. Well, actually, yeah.
They got
That's
it
true.
more right.
And like all the kind of hints to things and such.
And the hints to things, like
Yeah.
David, they
I
kind of
still,
got
I
it
still
right.
would have really been interested to see how they would have expanded that whole Doctor's one of the important, like, original, like, creators, basically, of time travel and such. Like, they were going to potentially do,
Oh, yeah.
alongside
With
Omega
Sylvester
and
McCoy,
such.
yeah.
That would have been really interesting to see that play out, and how that would have had, say, if it was cancelled off that, how that would ramifications onto the latest series. Because that would be blimmin' interesting, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that. I still kind of hope that that kind of happens, because that would be like. It'd make him more important in the universe, you know? Even more of a bigger, like, figure. As of now, he's just kind of. In some ways, it's kind of nice just to have him as a renegade. Just kind of a. One person just kind of. Versus the
Wandering,
universe.
yeah.
But at the same time. You know. It's like. Also, that possibly even gives him, like, a proper reason for
Well,
him
the problem
leaving.
is at the moment it seems like Clara's more important in the universe than freaking Doctor
Yes,
is.
yeah. So having something like that, you know, kind of brings back his importance in some way. But that's another.
Yeah.
That's not here or that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And like the Doctor opens his door and he's not
Not
there.
there, which is. I thought they were going to do a thing where it like steps out from the side, you know, jump scare, but they never did
Or just
that.
behind him or
Yeah,
something.
you know, like really creepy, but they don't do that. And yeah, she says, "Oh yeah, you become empty" and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is kind of. And actually, this is one detail which the Blu-ray does help with. If you actually look into the eye holes themselves, there is basically like just kind of. You can kind of see what appears to be skin or something, but it's just kind of all. Kind of. Yeah, like,
It's
it's kind of
like
like
skinned
empty,
over,
yeah,
yeah,
completely
yeah.
empty, yeah.
You can't see eyes.
It kind of all ties together quite nicely. That is one advantage that they got with the Blu-ray, that you kind of catch small details like that. The pacing of this episode, really excellent. Like, everything.
Oh, so
things
good.
that happen. Specifically in the empty child portion, things are always happening.
There's enough with him. Like, oh, that creepy monkey with the little, you know.
Yeah.
Me.
Well, no, that doll is always creepy. Did you ever see Toy Story 3?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it was. Production standards are just awesome. Yeah, so then the Doctor goes to the hospital and he meets Dr. Constantine. And that's a really nice moment. And like, you kind of care about Constantine kind of quickly because, like, you know, he's old, he's lost his, you know, I was a father and a grandfather, and now I am neither.
And again, another
And
thing
the
about the
Doctor's
Doctor.
like, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it just makes you kind of like.
Which, you know,
It kind of makes a connection with Dr. Constantine.
Yeah.
So when he changes, and it's so great, like when the Doctor like goes, he's like, "Oh, have you studied them?" You know, and he's like, "No, not yet." He's like, "Don't touch the flesh." And like, you know, he does all the Sonic.
Yeah, Dr. Constantine excellently acted. Like, I really do love.
Yeah, Richard Wilson is great, and he was Gaius later on in Merlin, and he was great in that.
Didn't see enough Merlin.
Well, yeah, but that moment where he changes.
Well, no, before that, like the scene where he kind of bangs aside and they all kind of sit up at once.
Oh god, yeah. And it's like, and like the Doctor when he's like talking about all the injuries, and he goes a scar on their hand, and then it just like shows Dr. Constantine's hand on like his little staff thing on his walking stick. And you're like, oh snap!
Crap.
Oh no, it's going to turn into one of the Doctors and notice. And that was stuff like. The Doctor didn't know stuff in Series 1 as well. Like, and the audience did know it. That was good stuff. That was one that's good, you know, when the Doctor didn't see everything that the audience
Well,
did.
sometimes it's okay, I think. Sometimes it's kind of okay for him to be slightly more ahead of the curve. I think that depends on the circumstance and what they're doing with it. Like, sometimes it's kind of nice to have the audience already aware, already thinking, but sometimes it kind of keeps you on your feet when you kind of can't always tell what the Doctor is doing.
Yeah.
Actually, again, another reason for liking Doom, because it's very unpredictable there, but that'll be months later.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But
still today, like this.
That transformation is
I-
so good.
Yeah, I wasn't as afraid of this episode. I think that image did kind of stick in my head. So I don't remember. I don't remember so much of this episode from my first watch, just because, as I said, I've watched it so many times that it's all kind of
Blurred together, yeah.
Yeah, but that image really does like stick in my head.
Shoves out his mouth. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it still holds up. like the quality of it is really good, and that's why they only show it fully once. That's why that was
Well,
the
I mean,
money
you
shot.
kind of get most of it in Doctor Dances as well. Actually.
Yeah, there's a bit in that one, but you don't get the whole thing.
Actually, twice.
Because there's because you don't see it when the guy's tied, handcuffed to the thing. You just hear him, and then you hear the sound, but you don't see it happen. And because it probably cost a lot to do. And I've actually got an action figure of Dr. Constantine.
Same. I
With
had that
both
one.
heads, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Jack appears just after that.
Yeah, and they just Jack and Rose wander into the thing,
And I love how we find out that Jack's a con man early on, which was a really good twist. You do not see that coming.
No, not initially. You kind of, I mean, you kind of think a little bit suspicious when
you're
he's
suspicious.
kind of
But it's
talking
not
about
like-
business immediately and such.
But it's not like movies, where the guy tricks the entire group and then he's a fraud because he's doing it for other purposes, but then he helps them out in the end. Over the Hedge is a good one of that, where he tricks the guys to gather food so he can give it to a bear, which he destroyed the food for, and then in the end he tries to help them. That usual stuff. No, he was just a con man. You didn't see it coming.
Yeah. And then the whole thing about chucking it at them.
Yeah, just to get their attention.
The time agent.
But yeah, and then we see Nancy again go back to the house to get some more food, and then she gets trapped inside, and that's a really good scene. She's stuck under the table, and the apple rolls out, and then they're getting surrounded.
Oh, and they're closing the door with a finger point.
Oh yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's a great moment. Such a good shot as well. Just that one. There's that one famous picture where he's got his finger out.
Just right out. Yeah.
Yeah. Disco dancing. D-I-S-C-O.
Mommy.
Yeah. And number one track, Mummy.
I'm afraid of the bombs, Mommy.
Are you my mummy? I feel like making an
I
entire.
can hear you.
Are you my mummy? We've got an entire disco track going down. Fund us at our GoFund page, and we will make the disco song. Wow. Yeah. And then there's that great cliffhanger where they're all trapped. And, are you my mummy? And they're all converging. And awesomeness.
Yes.
Perfection in an episode. 10 out of 10. Straight there. There's literally so little wrong with it that you can't give it any lower. It is so good, that first episode.
But yeah.
So good. The era they get right. Everything feels right. The acting is great by Florence Hoff as Nancy. And all the kids are pretty good actors as well for kid actors. And Richard Wilson as Dr. Constantine is great. It's just, it's all solid stuff, really.
It really, very much is. So, again, I think, there is a good reason why a lot of people look back very fondly on this story. I still think this probably is Moffat's best work. I mean, I know so many people are like, blink.
Rewatchability, this is probably one of his best.
Yeah, I have to admit, it's not as creepy on
It's well enough.
rewatches. But it holds up better than Blink. Because, that's the thing about his stories. They're excellent, but...
First watch.
None of them before, the recent series are really, they're good to experience once more than, they're really chilling on the first watch, but most of them don't quite hold up as well on the repeat watches, although, some less so than others. I think this one holds up still really well and has some things to see on repeat watches. It's not as creepy, but it is still pretty darn good. I'd say possibly the same thing happens with Science in the Library. It's not creepy anymore, but but Blink kind of entirely relies on that. So. But we'll get into that in another discussion.
I'm interested to see in 3 years' time what our thoughts on Word Enough and Time will be on creepiness, because that really is creepy. Where it's like, yo mate, that's really good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see if that will still be creepy, because it didn't really rely on a twist. Because they'd already revealed that Johnson was going to be in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh look, there's Razor. That's Johnson.
It's supposed to be a twist, but
it wasn't really.
No.
But yes, so then I guess
There's the
one thing is after the Empty Child, there's such a long next time trailer. It was like 45 seconds long. It was massively long.
Mm.
It was really long. And the thing is fair enough they didn't reveal much, but it's like revealed even less than that.
Well, that's not down to the production team, that's down to the marketing.
I guess. I mean, at least it was a good trailer.
Yeah, the marketing is ruining everything in Doctor Who's case. One of the few things that they didn't reveal was like Davros, I think.
Day of the Doctor.
That too.
They were actually good with that one.
But that was very important that they kept most of that hidden.
Yeah. It's amazing that none of that leaked because so many people must have been trying.
Well, but I wouldn't be surprised if like elements of it did get out to people, but that, you know, they possibly didn't say it just purely because of the event and such.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you would have heard of like people like...
Yeah, but who's going to believe them if they say it after the fact? Oh, I knew all the time.
No, I mean, I wonder if there were any, like... Because there weren't any threats of, like, you know, pay us and give us money. But that's a discussion for when we discussed Ever Doctor. So, carrying on, the Doctor gets out of the situation so smartly.
Yeah.
It's, like, so smart, and you wouldn't think of it yourself.
No,
that kind of thing.
I do vaguely remember the kind of gap between and like trying to talk to people about it.
Yeah,
and,
how's he going to get out
and
of it?
you know, it was like, you know, I think
no one came up with that.
Nobody thought of it. Actually, that was a genius thing about Doctor Who at this time period. It's just because like the cliffhangers, you were left kind of guessing. You know, very much so. I had a similar
You
thing
talk
with
to your
Solomon.
friends about it. I remember every...
Yeah.
And even the next time trailers, I'd be talking to my friends about them, you know? But, you know, what do you think is going to happen next week? Or the cliffhangers, like, how's he going to get out of this? You know? Like, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I remember after Journey's End one, when David was regenerating... And I remember that one was crazy. It was like, oh, what do you think's going to happen?
Yes, very much.
Like, but the thing is, it's in,
I
like,
remember somebody mentioned, "Oh, do you think it has something to do with the hand?" I think no. I was like, no, I don't think so. I don't see how that would be relevant.
I think that's the problem with like Series 6 though now is that they got rid of the two-parters. Same with Series 7, and it stopped that week-to-week conversation which you had with your friends.
I guess the fact that Series 6 was an overarching plot kind of, sort of, had kind of guessing element, but it wasn't quite, it wasn't there, no, it wasn't quite as intense.
The format worked, I don't know why they changed it. I mean, that's why Series 5
Moffat.
That's why Series 5 is considered one of the better ones.
Anyway, Doctor Dancers. Yeah, no, excellent way of getting out of it. You don't think?
Yeah, shouting at them to go to their room. I mean, genius.
Pure
genius.
And the line, of course. Yeah. Oh, the terrible last words. It's just so good, so good. But you know, and like even after that, the tension's fairly high, and like it's all kind of creepy and
Just a moment.
Okay.
There we go. We're good.
That's sorry. And yeah, no, they get into the room with the child, and it's like really, like it's such a pleasant area, but it's so creepy based on like the glass shattered and like the lighting and such. It makes these pleasant drawings of Mummy really
Creepy,
kind of creepy.
Well, no, I like the bit just before where the Doctor gets Jack to shoot the door just to see what century is from. That's why he does it, just to get an idea of what his quote-unquote enemy is.
Yeah.
Because in this, Jack is kind of an enemy, really.
Well, he's a rival, basically, to the Doctor for Rose.
But yeah, it's...
he's
a friend.
I guess we get this out of the way now. The whole dance in this episode is innuendo.
Sex,
Yeah. This is the kind of the whole thing is between the Doctor and Jack over Rose. Which, you know, in some ways it's kind of disappointing that some of that takes focus away from the empty child and such.
Well, it makes Rose look a bit of a slag, really. I'm sorry, it's like she's been with the Doctor, she's basically fucked over Mickey.
Yeah.
She's with the Doctor now, and then Jack comes along with a sonic gun. And And she's like, oh, get in my pants. She really is. She's a bad person, I'm sorry. Like, being horrible to Mickey, who I love Muggsy. You know, Mickey's bae, so... I mean, I don't blame her. I mean, it is John Barrowman. John Barrowman is bae, but, like, you know, you're with the Doctor. Make your choice.
Yeah. Rose in the story is, a pretty bad person. Well, throughout the series. Though, actually we'll get to this, because I guess I read a bit ahead to the story, though, but was going to be an aspect of the Doctor being a bad person. But
it was going to be that Jack was going to find out that the Doctor had been, like, making Rose the perfect companion.
Basically, yeah.
Which is what Boomtown was originally going to be. Which would have been interesting to see.
That would have been kind of a very different twist on it. But it would have really made him seem like a creep, though. And a remnant of this is the red bicycle line at the end.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, that's a remnant of that idea. But, you know... Anyway.
So, they get to the room, and there's the great scene with the tape. And it's like, you know, got Dr. Constantine talking to the child. And then the tape runs out, but we're too busy listening to the Doctor to realise. And you hear it in the background, like...
Yeah.
But you still hear the kid's voice. It's like, what's that noise? It's like the tape's run out. I just sent it to its room. This is its room. And they turn and it's just there. And then,
they get the shriek again, and it's like...
Dling! And and then like Jack with the banana. That was great.
Yeah, that whole scene was really quite funny.
They get through the wall, and then the kid punches the way through the wall, which is like, oh snap!
Yeah,
and they're coming down the hallway.
Well, it's kind of superhuman. And
there's that great scene where it's like, do you have anything Sonic? He's like, yeah, I'm Sonic'd up. I am totally Sonic. What is it? A screwdriver.
Also, that whole bit about the Doctor blowing up the factory I was from. It's hinted at. And now being bananas.
Bananas are good. Don't drop a banana. Why? Good source of potassium.
Wonder what happened in that story, though. How that ended up happening.
It was the War Doctor. He
wouldn't let the Daleks get the sonic devices.
Yeah, so but
that'd be interesting. While this is also going on, Nancy is caught after the kid. Basically, she runs to the door, and there's a kid that looks like Jamie, and takes off the mask.
That was a really good jump scare.
That was.
Because everyone's like, oh, Christ! And it's one of the kids, and then like the couple chase her inside. It's like, get the police!
No, so it's not one of the kids, it's the family's kid.
Yeah, I know, the family kid. And then she chases it outside. It's like, I thought you were Jamie.
And then that whole scene with Nancy breaking down the...
breaking down the guy, basically. She knows about his little gay shenanigans going on at the side with the butcher man.
Well, at this point in history, it was kind of illegal, so, you know,
I know.
You need to save face, so...
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a... Yeah.
Thing is, as a kid, I don't think I actually really picked up on that, I think.
I don't think a lot...
I think it just went over my head.
There's a lot of things this episode.
I think I jumped to the fact that he was with the butcher's wife, because that's, religious growing up and stuff, and I hadn't had much, gay. Nobody really talked about gay when I was a kid. I mean, the insult gay was about, but I didn't really know what it meant. I didn't know what a lot of words meant being dyslexic.
Yeah.
I kind of struggled in school.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't even remember the line, to be honest.
I mean, in Aliens of London, like Rose calls the Doctor gay. Like when you get slashed, she's like, "Oh, that's so gay," and like that.
It's a common thing.
It just flies over the head.
Yeah, well, you do as a kid. You don't pay attention to that. You're paying attention to the scary gas melting. And same with the whole innuendo thing.
Yeah,
this episode as a whole. That's one thing you get to appreciate as an adult, is just kind of... That doesn't quite click.
This is when it makes it a family show.
It appeals to both.
Yeah, but the problem was with A Good Man Goes to War is they literally go, when did Amy and Rory fuck on the TARDIS? This is basically what they say. When was it conceived? She should have said, when did they dance? That would have been funny, because Moffat wrote that episode.
Yeah, but that's only a small amount of them it's going to necessarily remember, I guess.
But like Matt Smith could have gone, they wouldn't have danced until their wedding night. Don't know, like, you know, that would have been funny. Because I mean, they reference like, "Are You My Mummy" later on in like this Sontaran strategy.
But that wasn't Moffat, though.
I know it wasn't Moffat, but whatever.
So yeah, I mean, they're all getting surrounded here in like the hospital, and there's like Doctor and Jack are just kind of bickering and just kind of rival, and then Rose is the one that just has to step and just shoot down the floor. It's quite a cool moment. Surprised there's no injuries.
Yeah, and then they land in another room full of gas masks. And then they get into another room.
It's like they're stuck in like some sort of hell here.
Yeah, it really is. Like no room they could get to as an escape. And
trying to get out the front.
Then so then we learn. Then they dance. They have that dance. Yeah. Because I'm trying to resonate concrete.
Yeah. Actually, that's one thing I guess I'll talk about that one later. But we get a bit of interesting thing about Jack here as well on the ship, because he talks about the fact that he lost 3 years of his
2 years.
3, I thought it was.
No, it was 2. I just listened to it.
Okay. Well, 2 years of Jack's life, which he doesn't know what he did or anything in that time, which is I don't
Interesting.
know. Did they ever bring that up again?
I'm trying to think about Torchwood. I think they might have. But the problem is then he talks about his childhood later on in a later series, because his evil brother shows up. I think Captain John, I think it is. I'll say it's along those lines. He is an evil brother.
Okay.
And yeah, it's so it's like he remembers some. Maybe he gets them back. I can't remember, but I think they might bring it up.
It's kind of a, and him and in general, him and the Time Agency is just kind of not. I mean, especially when you see him again in Doctor Who, it's just not really brought up ever again, really.
No, but they're too busy talking about why he got left. So I can understand them not. I mean, Jack's faced most of the cool monsters. He's fought Cyberwoman. He's faced the Cyberwoman. He's faced the Daleks, and he's faced the Master. Like John Barrowman has had like a good amount. Good pick of the monsters. I wish he'd return. I mean, Moffat even created him, and he never brought him back.
Well, did he really? I mean,
he wrote this story. He wrote
this story, but
he
like
got guidelines on what they wanted. But
yeah, no, I don't know if he creates the character exactly, but
he's still brought into life.
Yeah, I guess
he would have written the lines.
No, of course.
So anyway, so then Nancy, there's a great scene where the Doctor finds out about the nanogens,
which actually, it's kind of weird that they never kind of bring these back, considering
they've mentioned them since. They have a few times, I think.
Not often.
Not often, though.
But the fact that they can outright bring people back to life, like that's kind of an important ability that could have been useful on a few occasions.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it stop the Doctor regenerating?
You would have thought every army would have like nanogens, because that would make them practically invincible.
Maybe they got outlawed.
Well, you never mentioned that.
Well, maybe they don't need to. But yes. Yeah, he sees the nanogens. But there's a great scene when Nancy, and there's the typewriter. It's like, it's like all these perfect scenes. It's like, maybe you should have held some back for later scripts.
He used up all the best moments here.
He did, he really did. Like, and then the typewriter going, and like the two kids are sitting there, and the typewriter's going. She's like, as long as you're around me, you're not safe. And she goes over to the side, and she cuts her way in. And then she gets caught, and then they tie her up to the sick guy, and he's got the scar, and you're like, oh no, it's stuck. And his transformation's really creepy. He does the coughing fit really well. He's like, me.
Yeah.
It's just creepy stuff.
Really I have to say about the Doctor dance in general, though, actually, is that it is a bit more long-winded and a bit slow than it's not quite as well paced as the Empty Child, just because they do focus a lot on this whole dancing point.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of, you can see why they did it, but at the same time, I
still think it has enough action scenes.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Especially the beginning with the room, and I Yeah, I still think it's top notch.
It is.
And she does a lullaby to make the one sleep. And then, yeah, we're at the ship scene. And then they set it off, and then all the zombies are walking toward one spot, which is such a creepy scene, especially when they push their doors open and they come out the hospital, like coming out like 2 by 2, and it's really scary.
I think. Hang on, no, we jumped ahead a bit. There's a couple of scenes I wanted to talk about before that.
Well, hey, winding back.
Yeah. Well, first off, like, because after Nancy gets caught and such, the Doctor, Jack, and Rose enter. And, like, it's pretty cool shot of them just kind of walking side by side, walking into the place itself. Yeah. And Jack goes to kind of talk to the guy in order to make a distraction. And then gets a very interesting insight to the future. Humanity's future goals are one sex.
Get out and dance.
Go with everybody.
Shut up and dance with me.
With everybody. Everything.
This ood is my fantasy.
Everyone, everything, every creature.
Yep. Get that weeping angel over here. Pass me that Sontaran. Let's get down with some Zygons. Which actually probably did happen after the Zygon invasion.
Yes,
version.
well, of course. And before that.
Let's get those Slovene. Yeah, let's tangle with Amara.
Let's fun for the creature from the pit.
Well, the Doctor's already done that.
Yeah, but everyone else gets a chance.
Pass it round. Let's get slippery with Syl.
Yeah.
Oh my, with Omega. I don't know.
Well, there's nothing to Omega though.
I don't know. Slovene have tongues. There's tongue with some Silurians. There we go. There's something for everyone, I guess.
Mm. And there's always something for Jack.
Yeah.
And someone for Jack.
Yeah. Along
that's kind of his whole thing. You're like, yeah, well, part of it. It's like,
well, it's just
for the future.
sexual.
Like, yeah, everyone, everything.
Everything. Look at that tree. It's got a good branch there. But yeah, I love Jack.
Yeah,
he's great. But yeah, so then and then the guy, then the general guy, like turns into a gas mask, and you're like, holy crap, because you didn't see that coming. And that happened really quickly.
It did. It did.
So
because I presume he was already further down the process.
And it was near the bomb, so that probably also.
And yeah, then we get to sort of the gas mask people walking out of the hospital. Actually,
it's so good,
really
such
cool
a
with
good
the
shot.
And the
one where they're coming towards the train station, there's explosions going behind them. It's so cool, so cool. And and the lovely that.
And
was,
we get to
I watched it just now with Conrad. My skin tingled when it was like you know.
Well, first off, it was a pretty good twist with the nanogenes in the first place.
Yeah,
you don't quite figure it out, and I remember very much the first time being kind of confused. And the fact that they're just kind of there to repair, and that they got the whole thing wrong.
Great,
great concept, really was.
And at the bad
guys,
the villains of this story weren't actually villains,
No. They were trying to help, but they couldn't. And then of course the reveal with Nancy,
and being the mum, awesome reveal.
Yeah, it very much makes sense, especially for the time period. Of course, you wouldn't want that getting out, because that would be you'd be shamed. That would.
She probably already was, to be honest. That's why she has no mum or dad about. That's why they never mentioned. But yeah. So
well, I mean that, in fact, it's war.
And that's a nice scene where Rose is telling Nancy that they win the war. That's a very nice scene when they're reconnecting the barbed wire.
Yeah. That
was a little nice moment. But
give a bit of hope in this bleak time.
But yeah, I love the bit where so then he pushes the doors open. The little kid, it's poof, breaks through the gate, and then and they approach each other. And it's it's the mum, and then they're working it out, and you just get tingles. It's great moment. Even now, I was getting
this
chills.
Is probably, I'd say, the most joyful ending to a Doctor Who story ever. Legitimately ever. The overjoyness of Chris, and how everything's playing out in front. Yes.
The way he acts, it makes you just
Just
feel
his
so
outright
happy.
delight that everybody
It's like,
in this town
oh,
has to
please
live.
give me this once. There's like, everybody, I'm getting chills right now.
Everybody
talking about
lives, Rose.
Just
Everybody
this once.
lives.
Just this once. And it's so good. And
Yeah,
like,
I think this is legitimately like one of the only stories in Doctor Who's history to where nobody died.
yeah.
I believe. Hang on, it says it here somewhere.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Edge of Destruction, nobody dies.
Hang on.
Edge of Destruction, no one dies.
Well, that's true, but that doesn't.
But it's
Yeah.
not a happy ending where no one has died.
Mm,
Well, Pandorica opens.
mm,
The universe lived.
yeah, I guess so.
There's a few others, but that came after it. At the time, this was a very special one.
Yes. Especially considering some of the dark stories we've had before that, especially like Dalek and such.
Yeah,
You know.
it was
But
a good one.
This would
have been a good season finale, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, if the Daleks weren't such a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't so awesome, I would have said have this as the last one.
Yeah, this could have worked fairly nicely, though. It wouldn't have been like, compared to the Daleks, it wouldn't have been anywhere.
Oh yeah,
near
no,
as
it
big.
wasn't as big. No, but yeah, and then then Jack is flying away because he obviously took the bomb away, which has Bad Wolf written on it, which is a really nice thing. In German, it has Bad Wolf. It's very cool.
Well, of course, that appears at all.
I know, but it's very good. So subtle that you don't even notice.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
just specifically looking out for
And
it.
yeah, there's like goodbye, and then they go and save Jack, who's like on the ship and it's about to blow up. And he's like,
Yeah, it just says
right,
talk with the computer.
yeah, it's like, can we put it in an escape pod? There is no escape pod. I could get in the escape pod. There is
There's no
no
escape.
Did you check under the sink? But the thing is, my one plot hole is why didn't Jack just like? Because I mean, his ship was moving fast, so why didn't he just land in like the Yorkshire Moors? I mean, it wasn't a nuclear bomb or anything. It wasn't anything special in size. He had enough time to land
Yeah, well,
in like Yorkshire, in a very desolate area, and just run away from the ship. I guess maybe he'd be stuck on Earth. Yeah, but he's a time agent. He had the risk thing.
well, that wasn't introduced at this point.
No, but he has it.
Yeah, but in the context of
no,
later stories,
No, he gets it later. No, he gets it during Torchwood, I think, actually. Because he has it during Series 3. But he can't get it to work. Yeah, because he jumps, because he gets stuck. He gets stuck at the end of Parting of the Ways, and that's how he gets back. Okay, he doesn't have that.
Yes.
But, okay, so he doesn't want to be stuck, so I guess he'd rather die than be stuck in World War II, I guess. Which is fair. I mean, he's not immortal at this point, which is a really interesting thing.
Yeah.
This is like one of the 3 stories where he's not immortal.
yeah,
It's really interesting.
it's true. It's true.
But yeah, and then he gets on the TARDIS, and they start dancing, and then
Doctor
Doctor makes an innuendo.
Rose decides to dance with the Doctor instead.
yeah, it's like, oh, I think Jack might want this dance. It's like, yeah, but with who? Oi oi. And they
I'm
dance.
sure he would.
They dance, but like the Doctor's clicking is out of time, and it freaking annoys me.
Well, that's because of the editing, really.
It's
Because, like, of course,
painful.
they didn't have the thing playing while he was doing it. They had to edit that in and post, of course. So it was probably kind of awkward, actually. Just Chris, just kind of.
Yeah, it was really out of time. It's like you're not dancing on time, Bo.
Gosh.
Until like kind of a bit later on, but his clicking is just off. I'm pretty sure, like
0 out of 10 for
even,
clicking.
even off beats. Yeah, so from a 10 out of 10, this drops to a solid 2 out of 10. Clicking at a time. So anyway, that is that really. That is that amazing story. So Conrad, 3 freaking good points.
Freaking fricks. The atmosphere in general, very much like with the evoking the lighting, the music, everything that kind of contributes to building this kind of eerie war-like setting where like everything's kind of you hear like the danger overhead and such, and perfectly kind of encapsulates that era and all that. The acting quality from everybody is great, excellent. Yeah, like even like the smaller supporting characters, even the kids, really good. Like really, they play their roles great, and it's all kind of enjoyable to watch. And I'd say the concept of the empty child in general, like it's just kind of a really unique idea. Like, in fact, this whole plot and like the idea of like the enemy and such in general, I don't think you can't find this basically anywhere else. It's like wholly basically unique to this. Like, I can't think of anything really like it in anything. You know, still with the kid running around going, "Are you my mummy?" and such. You know, it's like that doesn't happen anywhere else. That's just specifically. This is the only.
It can't be
unique.
replicated.
Yeah,
It can't be replicated
it can't
without
be.
it being a rip-off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's really, excellently done. That's my three.
Cool. Right. The main story, it's so unique in all the terms. It's setting, there's two threats going on at once. There's the general war going on, there's bombs dropping, which maybe I think they should have had maybe a bit more of at one point, like a bomb drop near the Doctor or something. So, there's danger about
Yeah,
at
until
all
the end,
times.
we don't get a lot of actual like
Bomb,
you hear it,
yeah.
but you
But
don't
nothing
see
really.
the effects. Like, there's no like. You don't even see like really many other than the railway station. You don't get to see much of the effects of the bombs. Like not
No,
houses
no.
or anything.
But so there's that. The kind of the story, it kind of covers everything really. I mean, I guess getting the era right, the costumes and sets and everywhere they filmed was really good quality. And I'd say, because kind of covering the story kind of does that. The music's really good and really well used in this as well. But yeah, that's just the general story. Everything's good in it. The acting, performances, by everything, directing, lighting, everything is just dialed up to 11. It's great. So I guess 3 bad points, if you can really think of any.
Well, I'd say Doctor Dances especially. There's a bit too much talking and a bit too much, It's a bit long-winded in the second part. Like, I know some of it's fine and kind of leads to tension. Such as like, they do spend a while, like, for example, with Nancy talking to the kids in the shack about when the typewriter scene and such. They spend a while there, but that's all tension and it's actually really good. But some things do legitimately take a bit too long, a bit like too much tension almost, like a bit too much, some things are a bit too long-winded when they didn't really need to be and such. So, I would say some of the CG doesn't hold up. Not entirely the fault of the episode. It was built for 2005 TVs, but it's a point that seeing it now, we can kind of discover some faults. Actually, another one which you pointed out earlier was that during the scene where you got the Jack stopping the bomb and such, when you see the fire out shot, the Doctor and such, they don't move. They're just basically like pictures.
Still, yeah.
They're just images.
Yeah, they took a photo and they added stuff.
Like, that wouldn't have been obvious in 2005, but seeing it today.
It's the first time I've really noticed it.
Yeah,
To be fair.
it's not so much of a big issue with the episode itself, but it's a
take
flaw.
you out a tiny bit.
It's a flaw when you see it in modern day. Not that there's too much they could have done about it, unless they. I don't even know if they got the same. If they've still got the files or anything, if they could recreate.
No, what would be the point? They wouldn't make any money off of it. It would just be a waste of money because you have to pay
Well,
someone
to
do it.
archive. No, not to recreate it, but I mean, they should have the original source files somewhere, wouldn't they, for the animation?
Possibly.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see them kind of. They probably got all the original footage of the green screen as well, so they could have.
That'd be
That's
really
not-
interesting to see, wouldn't it? Just individual takes. Wouldn't that be interesting to see?
Yeah. And. There's not a lot else.
It's
I mean, a
really
very,
topic.
very minor point. And the beginning of episode, I didn't even mention this, but in the beginning of episode 1, again, you point out that Rose, why did she climb up the Zeppelin thing?
Yeah.
My point out is that why didn't she let it go? She wasn't actually that high on it, and she could have jumped off on top of the building because there was a whole bit where she was kind of traveling over the building she was on. So, and if you can survive falling an entire hospital floor, you'd be fine falling from that rope.
Very true. Okay, 3 bad points from me. It's really hard. Yeah, basically, they're just nitpicks. Like, why didn't Rose look up, and see what the thing was holding on to? yeah, the CG doesn't look as good anymore, but you can't really blame the story for that because at the time it was made, that's what it was.
No, I still debate that other stories in this series
Look
do it
better, but did they ever do such a grander shot going over the entire London that the entire 360 was going to be CG?
I mean, I think
Because they didn't do
the
that
sun
at any other
engulfing
point.
the Earth is pretty spectacular.
But that didn't require any
Or
human
meeting the
interaction.
Daleks.
But that didn't require any human interaction either. It was could all be done on CG, so they didn't have any lighting problems.
No, but Mum, that's
It was
true.
comparing-
No, it wasn't just the lighting. The lighting was an issue, but it's like how blurry the entire picture looks.
But maybe they did that because it was, I don't know, smoky and cloudy.
Mm.
I don't
But
know. Anyway, and the
lighting's a
third one is Rose is a slag.
Yeah.
She's a massive slag. Come on, like, choose your man already. You had a good one, Muggsy, and you just mugged him off. For those who don't get it, Mickey was originally going to be called Muggsy, just for that.
Yeah.
So,
Nick knows very well.
yeah. So there's continuity. What was in the nerdy? The nerdy. So,
Birdie birdie.
yeah. There's a few here and there. As mentioned in Doctor Who Confidential, in this episode, dancing is used as a metaphor for sex. In this light, lines like "the world doesn't end if a doctor dances," the Doctor being offended that that Rose assumes he does not dance, and the Doctor saying at the end that he remembers that he can, are references to the long-standing controversy regarding the Doctor's sexuality and whether or not the series should address it. So yeah.
I mean,
And I mean, Moffat uses the metaphor again, actually, in Girl in the Fireplace, where the princess goes, "There comes a time, Time Lord, when a lonely little boy must learn how to dance." I mean, it's implied they go off to
It is,
party,
yeah.
but I mean, they could
and
have
the
had
Doctor
sex.
comes back, yeah.
They could have had sex.
Well, the Doctor comes back after that.
That actually is all an act, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you never know, they could have. But yeah, obviously the words "bad wolf" are on the side of the bomb that Jack is sitting on. So
when
yeah.
Nancy approaches a crashed ship, the score that plays there is actually kind of basically a very similar. Well, the motif which it used would become the thing for the Torchwood theme.
Yeah, that's
Kind of a
true.
nice little inclusion from Jack's first episode and such.
Mickey's website, Who is Doctor Who? And the unit website both carry reports about unexploded Bad Wolf bombs in the present day, implying that they may be something more sinister than just a German terror weapon, which is basically Rose kept those bombs from not exploding so the message could be spread. Also, he uses Pompeii, Volcano Day, and Jack always goes, Pompeii's nice, just got to dodge Volcano Day. Which, yeah.
This is in a more innocent context to dancing, but this is like the only one of the very few times the Doctor's shown partner dancing, other than the only time it does it in classic series is awkwardly in Delta the Bannerman.
Yes.
Which is the only other time. According to Stephen Moffat, the sonic blast used by Jack to blast open the door was designed to be kept in the TARDIS for River Sanctified, so she could use it in Forest of the Dead. Though that was, of course, later added, not that you thought of it now.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But
Also, the 51st century, the era which Jack comes from, is also the era of K9. That's where K9 came from. And also in this, era is the New Ice Age and the New World War and early experiments because there was the invisible enemy. But also the establishment of the Time Agents and the rise and fall of the villainous Magnus Greel, which is the tellings of Wing Chiang, who went on the run from Time Agents. So that was all connected up, which is pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. There's some other things. Banana, that was kind of the first time it was mentioned here, and I think the Doctor has mentioned banana elsewhere as well. The 10th Doctor also puts on the gas mask during the Poison Sky and says, "You're my mummy." He says bananas are good, bring a banana to a party and go in the fireplace. That's when he says it. the red bicycle is a really weird thing.
Yeah, it really does make the Doctor seem very creepy. If that was actually going to be used.
Yeah.
Like some bizarre stalker abusing his power.
Yeah, I'm kind of just looking up some stuff. There's actually a site about it, Main Enemy, Jinko. About 12 Doctors of Christmas. Anthology. Huh. But yeah, so, conclusion, Conrad.
Okay. These, well, I guess I'll just count it as one story, because they're pretty much it. But this story, incredible. Like, really, really incredible. Like, basically every aspect, from its lighting, its atmosphere, its music, the acting quality, and the script itself is really, really, like, really strong. Upon the first watch, this episode is really creepy. I know a lot of people found it really... I don't know, a lot of people I knew found it very creepy. And, you know, while I wasn't amongst those, you know, I can definitely see why it was. And, like, you know, what it does is really, really effective. And it does kind of give you that chilling vibe all the way through. And, you know, it's just, in general, very few things wrong with it. Like, you know, I guess you can point out that some things are a bit slow, especially in the second half. Doctor dances, or, you know, there's a few small things that haven't held up. But, taken as a whole, this, you know, story is excellent. Is really, really excellent. You know, I very much hold this story very fondly. Again, it's one I've watched over and over and over and over again. And yeah, I still believe this is Stephen Moffat's best script as a whole, which is kind of sad, really. Figure out how long he's been part of the show, but you know, it's true. This is just such a brilliant story. So for my alternate rating, I'd give this a 10 out of 10. It really can't get much else. And that's the story as a whole, because you can't really... It's more difficult to rank one without the other, because it doesn't feel as complete, but, you know, yeah, 10 out of 10.
Sweet. So, yeah. Wow, where to start? Even the first installment of a two-part story, you know, it was that perfect. You know, Chris is perfect as ever. John Barrowman can take me now, and Billy is pretty fantastic, though I don't like Rose as a, you know, she's a bit of slag, but whatever. The supporting cast is excellent, mainly Florence Hofe, I think is how you pronounce it, which actually she doesn't do any acting anymore. She stopped being an actress. She did it for a few years and then she stopped, which is quite a shame because she was really good. She played Nancy, yeah, and then Richard Wilson went on to, you know, big things after this, being Gaius in a Merlin, but they really sell their roles, and you care about these characters. Nancy is helping the homeless due to the loss of her brother / son. You know, throughout the episode, you don't know which is which. And Constantine is helping, you know, the sick, as he has no one else left to look after. You know, as his own family is gone, and these are compelling characters which you care about when they change. You know. The monster is amazing and a perfect one-time villain, and I would rate the gas mask zombies next to Sutek in awesomeness. Like, that's how well as a one-time use they are. They should never be used again. Just leave them. You can't, and that's the best thing about them. You literally cannot use them again.
Yeah.
It's so perfect. No one can come back and ruin them. You can't. It's literally, it's like such a specific thing happened that you can't recreate it unless you're unless you're like Glenn McCoy or something who wrote Time Lash, if you don't know. So yeah, what can I rate this other than 10 out of 10? Seriously, no, I would say maybe Moffat's best script, but Heaven Sent is pretty damn solid as well. Yes. But this is just awesomeness of Chris, and you know, it makes you think what Chris could have become if he'd stayed. Because damn, it's so good. Like, it's amazing. It is one of the best of the new era still. It's still up there.
Yeah,
gorgeous,
very much so.
Gorgeous
very much
art.
So.
It is art. Okay, thank you very much for listening to our podcast review of The Empty Child / The Doctor Dances. Tell us what you think below this one.
Yeah.
So you can subscribe.
Or not. don't be like one of these gas mask people and just follow one hive order. You gotta break free. You gotta take off the mask. You gotta. I know it's part of the flesh, but you gotta rip it off.
You just gotta rip it off.
Yeah.
And underneath it's like the idiot's lantern faces with no face. But yes, no, yes,
no, yes, no.
Are you my mummy? And yes, so thank you very much for listening to this batch of reviews. We've really enjoyed doing them, and I hope you enjoyed them too.
Assuming you did listen to them.
Yeah, well, if not, you can go back. We've got a backlog of them. You can watch them if you want to waste hours of your life.
Or if you want to start from the beginning, we've got a super long playlist where you can watch every
single
one.
video we've ever made, ever. Yeah. I don't even think I'd watch that, to be honest.
No, I can't. I struggle to listen to myself, to be honest.
It is quite hard, yeah. So you have to do it for us. Let us know how that goes. So yes, thank you for listening to this batch. We're going to be working on batch 4 slowly.
Eventually.
Because I'll be at uni while this is going out.
And I'll be somewhere.
Conrad will be somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah. He's getting his shit sorted. He's going to get there. But anyway, yeah. So we'll have batch 4 is in the works.
Well, not at the moment.
But no, when you're listening to this. As you listen to this, it hopefully is in the works.
Maybe not. I mean, hope maybe.
Hope maybe. That's the best you're going to get. So thank you very much for listening. We will see you for videos in between and then eventually batch 4. Thank you very much. Goodbye.